Gurudev, Kabe tava karuna prakashe, Gurudev. Gurudev, Kabe tava karuna prakashe. Shri Gauranga Lila Hoy Nitya Tata Adrida Bishase. Shri Gauranga Lila Hoy Nitya Tata Adrida Bishase. Hari Hari Bali Godruma Kanane Brahmibo Darshana Ashe. Hari Hari Bali Godruma Kanane Brahmibo Darshana Ashe. Nitai Gauranga Advaita Srivasa Gadadhara Panchajan. Nitai Gauranga Advaita Srivasa Gadadhara Panchajan. Krishna Nama Rase Bhashibe Jagata Kari Mahashankirtan. Krishna Nama Rase Bhashabe Jagata Kari Mahashankirtan. Nartana Bilash Mridanga Badda Shunibo Apana Kane. Nartana Bilash Mridanga Badana Shunibo Apana Kane. Dekhiya dekhiya Shalila Madhuri Bhashibo Premera Bane. Dekhiya dekhiya Shalila Madhuri Bhashibo Premera Bane. Na dekhi abar Shalila Ratana Kandiha Gauranga Bali. Na dekhi abar Shalila Ratana Kandiha Gauranga Bali. Amare Bishai Pagala Balia Angete Dibeka Dhuli. আমারে বিষয়ে পাগল বলিয়া অঙ্গেতে দিবে ধুলি Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Om Jnana-timirandhasya Jnananjana-shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Nati Namane. Namaste Sarasvate Deve Gauravani Pracharne Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarne. Nama Shreshtam Manam Api Shachiputramatra Surupam Rupam Tasyagajam Urupuring Mathurim Goshtavatim Radha Kundam Girivaramaho Radhika Madhavasham Prapto Yasya Pratita Kripaya Shri Gurum Tam Natosmi Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Ataf Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavanscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatam Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakam Vitamscha Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. ये साल मेरे लिखित अर्पण श्रील प्रभुपाद के प्रति उनकी व्यास-पुजा में एक अंश है, वो एक पुस्तक जो मैं लिख रहा हूँ उससे, जिसका नाम है Srila Prabhupada, The Mood and Mission of Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada का भाव और उद्देश्य। तो उससे एक अंश में अभी पाठ करूँगा, अर्पण श्रील प्रभुपाद के चरण पर गंगा जैसे गंगा जल गंगा देवी को अर्पित होते उसी प्रकार तो श्रील प्रभुपाद को अर्पण करता हूँ। ये अंश विशेषकर श्रील प्रभुपाद की प्रिया सेवा पुस्तक प्रकाशन और वितरण के बारे में है। मैं अंग्रेजी में कहूँगा क्योंकि रचित है अंग्रेजी में, और पाठ करने के पश्चात वृंदावन चंद्र प्रभु उसका रूपांतर कहेंगे हिंदी में। So here it is. Book production and distribution. I've given 7 pages. I might not read all of it. We'll see how the time goes. Book production and distribution. First subtitle in this section is, actually what I'm going to read is only, even if I get through the whole 7 pages, it's only part of the section in the book. It's a long section. Book production and distribution. Subheading, Brihad Mridanga Sankirtan. Now, a lot of what I'm going to read is quotes from Srila Prabhupada's books, but you won't understand that because I'm reading it. When I'm reading it aloud. Maybe if are you going to project it? Anuvad. Okay. Being acutely aware of the power of the printed word, Srila Prabhupada presented knowledge of Krishna consciousness in multiple books and arranged for their mass distribution with the faith that some way or other, if they read my books, they will be benefited. There is no doubt about it. He taught that book distribution is the Brihad Mridanga. It is the greater preaching and is even more effective than public chanting. There is no comparison. There is no literature throughout the universe like Srimad Bhagavatam. There is no comparison. There is no competition. Every word is for the good of the human society. Every word, each and every word. Therefore we stress so much in the book distribution. Somehow or other, if the book goes in one's hand, he will be benefited. At least he will see, oh, they have taken so much price. Let me see what is there. If he reads one shloka, his life will be successful. If one shloka, one word, this is such nice things. Therefore we are stressing so much. Please distribute book, distribute book, distribute book. A greater mridanga. We are chanting, playing our mridanga. It is heard within this room or a little more. But this mridanga will go home to home, country to country, community to community, this mridanga. Yeah, please stop this. The mridanga drum is central to Gaudiya culture, being a nigh essential component of Sankirtan, congregational chanting, as introduced by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Yet Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati used to say that this literature is the Brihad Mridanga, the big Mridanga, because like the Mridanga which can be heard from a long distance, simply a few words can have a tremendous effect on millions of people if they are propagated widely. Following this logic, Srila Prabhupada declared that book distribution is also kirtan. He explained, book distribution is also chanting. Anyone who reads the books, that is also chanting and hearing. Why distinguish between chanting and book distribution? These books I have recorded and chanted, and they are transcribed. It is spoken kirtan. So book distribution is also chanting. These are not ordinary books. It is recorded chanting. Anyone who reads, he is hearing. We should not understand the meaning of Sankirtan very narrowly, that only chanting and dancing and playing instruments. No. Sankirtan means to glorify the Lord in a congregational manner. So, if many devotees are going out daily on the streets and public places for distributing our literature, that is also Sankirtan, even if there is no chanting. But it is always better to have at least a small party chanting, along with as many distributors of books as possible. Indeed, Srila Prabhupada asserted book distribution to be better than chanting, the better kirtan or big sankirtan. Preach as much as possible by sankirtan, big sankirtan. Big sankirtan is book distribution, and small sankirtan is with mridanga. Big sankirtan is going on all over the world, small sankirtan locally. Of course, Srila Prabhupada clarified, chanting should not stop, but book distribution is the best kirtan, and both can continue together. Regarding your question, is it all right to assign the entire Sankirtan party for distributing books so that no one will be free for street chanting? Of course, we should not understand the meaning of Sankirtan very narrowly, that only chanting and dancing and playing instruments. No. Sankirtan means to glorify the Lord in a congregational manner. So, if many devotees are going out daily on the streets and public places for distributing our literature, that is also Sankirtan, even if there is no one chanting. Hearing and chanting are essential processes for Sankirtan. So, if someone is hearing us singing on the street, or if he is purchasing one book and if he reads sincerely, these two activities are the same. So if there is any question of necessity, if there are not very men available, or if there is prohibition by the municipal authorities, something like that, we may assign everyone for distributing our literatures. There is no loss for that. But it is also better if there are also some devotees chanting loudly on the street. If there is even one man to two men or a small party who are chanting Hare Krishna, that will increase the book sales. So if there are sufficient men and if we have got sanctioned by the authorities, it is always better to have at least a small party chanting along with as many distributors of books as possible. Uniquely within ISKCON, book distribution is called Sankirtan. Yet this is perfectly appropriate. Kirtan means glorification, and the prefix sam means complete. Thus, the conventional understanding of Sankirtan is congregational chanting of Krishna's names, with the idea that glorification of Krishna is complete when many devotees participate. Another meaning can be derived from the understanding that complete glorification means glorifying not only Krishna's name, but also his form, qualities, pastimes, entourage, paraphernalia, everything related to him. Distribution of Srila Prabhupada's books is complete glorification of Krishna, because Srila Prabhupada's books glorify Krishna fully, his names, forms, qualities, pastimes, and so on. A specific example of how book distribution is more effective than street Sankirtan alone is that Srila Prabhupada's books reached the White House. It is a good thing that you have distributed books to the son and daughter of the president. This is another example how the book distribution is better than the street Sankirtan alone. Now the books are in the president's house, but by your chanting you could never approach the president's house. Next section, life and soul. This book distribution is the most important task in our society. Therefore, I am giving so much stress and I'm working so hard on this. This is my life and soul, according to the order of my Guru Maharaj. And by his grace, it is to some extent successful. And I took it seriously. I take it seriously still now, That is my life and soul. I started this movement by bookselling, declared Srila Prabhupada, and indeed from first publishing Back to Godhead in 1944 to dictating Srimad Bhagavatam purports in a physically emaciated condition shortly before departing this world, by both practice and precept, Srila Prabhupada consistently gave the same message regarding the centrality of literary production and distribution in the mission of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in the current era. It was his principal service to his Guru Maharaj, who was very fond of seeing many books published to spread the Krishna consciousness movement, and who had specifically instructed him in this regard. Translating and commenting on the Srimad Bhagavatam and other key shastras was Srila Prabhupada's life work. While managing an international movement, writing thousands of letters, counseling scores of devotees, and opening dozens of temples, Srila Prabhupada continued to write and publish books. Even before coming to America, he spent his days writing, publishing, and distributing his BTG while preparing other books like Light of the Bhagavat, Easy Journey to Other Planets, and Srimad Bhagavatam. Soon after arriving in America, he wrote and published Teachings of Lord Chaitanya, Krishna book, Bhagavad Gita as it is, The Nectar of Devotion, his edition of Chaitanya Charitamrita, and many others. He kindly engaged all his disciples in helping with this work, allowing them the special privilege of editing, illustrating, publishing, and selling his books. He was translating and commenting on the Srimad Bhagavatam up to the moment he departed. As an appreciative scholar noted, for hours every night, regardless of where he happened to be, Prabhupada translated India's sacred books into English and wrote commentaries on their meaning. This resulted in the production of most of the significant religious texts of the Gauriya Vaishnava tradition, and sales of these books represented a large portion of the organization's income. No wonder then that Srila Prabhupada declared it his prime duty to publish books on Krishna consciousness, that ISKCON Press, the precursor to the BBT, is his life, that book production and distribution is his life and soul, and therefore he is always emphasizing book distribution. In 1966, Srila Prabhupada wrote, "Publication work is my main function, so at any rate I cannot stop it." He continued, "I can stop my foreign activities, but I cannot stop my publication work." In December 1969, Srila Prabhupada bestowed an extraordinary blessing upon the workers at ISKCON Press. "Print my books, at least one every 2 months, and you will go back to Godhead." He attested to the best way to please him. Actually, it is a fact that ultimately everyone should preach and distribute books if they want to please me in the best way. Book distribution must be given stress, always. More evidence that book production and distribution gave Srila Prabhupada immense pleasure. When one book is published, I think I have conquered an empire. Every time I see a new publication of my books, it gives me so much enthusiasm that my life is increased by 100 years. I become very encouraged when I get the report of my books being distributed. The sales figures. This is the only solace in my life. When I hear that my books are selling so nicely, I become energetic like a young man. This immense pleasure is also apparent in the very last words he dictated while concluding his monumental translation and commentary on Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita. I request my disciples who are determined to help me in this work to continue their cooperation fully, so that philosophers, scholars, religionists, and people in general all over the world will benefit by reading our transcendental literatures, such as Srimad Bhagavatam and Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita. So, moving on to the next section, which is called Essence of the Mission. My books are more important than myself. This was Srila Prabhupada's instruction to one of his disciples who was being sent from his personal service to open a temple in a distant place. When one considers how much time, energy, and intelligence Srila Prabhupada has utilized to single-handedly begin and spread the Krishna consciousness movement on an international scale, it is even more astonishing that he has written a score of unique books. That was in the past, a score. He wrote many more than a score later. Despite his responsibilities in guiding thousands of disciples who operate almost 100 different centers, that he has produced these books at substantial sacrifice proves that the most important factor to the Krishna consciousness movement is the books of His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. An overwhelming number of statements, of which just a sample is reproduced below, attest to the prime importance that Srila Prabhupada accorded to the production and distribution of his books. This is our main business, distributing these books all over the world and thus turning the minds of the fallen souls towards Krishna. There is no doubt about it. To distribute books is our most important activity. Book distribution is the essence of our mission. This is our main program. Print books as many as possible and distribute. All other programs are secondary. In our Krishna consciousness movement, all our activities are concentrated upon distributing Krishna literature by fully concentrating on on distributing books for Krishna. One is fully absorbed in Krishna. This is samadhi. Being the most important work, book distribution has preeminence over other programs. If you simply push on this one activity of distributing my books, your all success will be there. As soon as I see that there is such increased book distribution figures, I take that to mean that all other programs are successful. Our primary business is to sell these transcendental literatures profusely all over the world. This is our primary activity, to sell as many books as possible. Producing and distributing books is our most important engagement. All other engagements culminate in this one end, distribution of books. Whatever progress we have made, it is simply due to distributing these books. So go on and do not divert your mind for a moment from this. That you are profusely distributing the book all over Sweden is the crowning success of our movement. Please dedicate your life to publishing all our books. It is our most important work. The main thing is to distribute books more and more. The next section is called Real Preaching. Distribution of this solid spiritual information is real preaching. I am very glad that you understand the importance of these books. Let us try to distribute them far and wide, as many as possible, and that is solid spiritual information or real preaching work. All programs must go on, but it is a fact that this book distribution program is very, very important. It is real preaching work. This book selling is the real preaching of our cult, especially when you sell Chaitanya Charitamrita and Srimad Bhagavatam. They will understand what we mean by reading these books. From your figures of book distribution, you are doing real preaching. I was very pleased to see how you are getting top-ranking men to read my books. That is real preaching. If all the government officers at least purchase some of our books, it will be a great credit. So do it very nicely. Your report of book distribution is very encouraging. Please go on increasing more and more. Yes, you should become the topmost temple for distributing my books. This is a very good proposal. That is the only way to please me. Distribute my books profusely. That is real preaching. Distribute as much literature as possible. That is real preaching. Book distribution gives a solid basis to our preaching. I am encouraged to see your report of books sold because it proves that you consider it your responsibility to see that more and more people are reading our literature. Actually, this is the solid basis for our preaching work. No other movement has got such profuse authority for preaching. Distribution of books and magazines is our most important activity. Without books, our preaching has no solid basis. The more we distribute books, the more we get solid ground of preaching work. Indeed, the test of the strength of our preaching work is that we sell many books and magazines. Books should be distributed in all kinds of venues to all kinds of people. Somehow or other, we must push on this literature distribution program, either through schools, colleges, libraries, life membership program, or ordinary sales. You should distribute the books to schools, colleges, libraries, bookstores, and wherever else you can imagine that they will be received. Also, continue your program of door-to-door Sankirtan. Doing so is a great service. You are doing a great service to humanity to introduce our books to the people in general. Everything will flourish by prioritizing book distribution. These publications are the backbone of our movement. And if we can distribute them successfully, then everything will be all right. Because your number one concern is distributing my books and preaching, I think Krishna will give you all facility to increase more and more and make advancement in Krishna consciousness. Indeed, our preaching work will be measured by the quantity of books we distribute. In this regard, Srila Prabhupada noted, religious books selling daily so much, huge amount, that is unique in history. Books change lives. We want to distribute our books as far as possible to all classes of men because anyone who reads them is sure to become Krishna conscious. They are so nice. If someone reads our Krishna philosophy, he becomes convinced. My ambition is to spread these books far and wide, all over the world, so that everyone shall read at least one of our books, and that will change his life. If he buys one book, his life may be turned. That is the best preaching work. Anyone reading our Krishna book, Teachings of Lord Chaitanya, Nectar of Devotion, and Bhagavad Gita as it is sure to become a Krishna conscious person. The aim is to replace mundane literature with transcendental publications. Gradually, we shall replace the literatures which are currently popular with our own style of transcendental literature. Thus, in various ways, Srila Prabhupada encouraged his disciples to distribute books by assuring them that by doing so, they would become dear to Krishna. The world would become purified. All cheaters, bogus incarnations, gurus, swamis, and yogis would be exposed, and our movement would become successful. Succinctly, he assured his disciples, by distributing these books, you are doing a great service to Krishna. The success of this movement is due to book distribution. Try to increase the effect of preaching by distributing many books and magazines, and this is the basis of your all success. Practically, the success of our movement is due to my books and BTG being distributed throughout the world. So I hope you're all getting enthused for distributing Srila Prabhupada's books by hearing all of this. You want to read it in Hindi then? Already dikhai diya. All right, so then what's next? Jai Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Srila Prabhupada's transcendental books ki jai. Srila Prabhupada's transcendental book distribution ki jai. Srila Prabhupada's transcendental book distributors ki jai. Srila Prabhupada's transcendental book publishers, producers ki jai.